I'm gonna show you how I make my vegetable ratatouille. It's perfect during the summertime. It goes with any protein, chicken, fish, steak, you name it. You want this on your dinner table. Let's go.
Welcome back to my channel, people of YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now listen, if you want to get right to the cooking part, then go ahead and skip to 3 minutes, all right? And then that's when I get right into cooking. But, you know, I've get a lot of requests to talk about things more in detail, and so I think this is really important. That way I can go back to this video. Now, here is the pro tip when making ratatouille. I like to cut the center out of the zucchini and the squash. Now, I know it's kind of a waste, you literally, you know, it's 50% yield, but I'm telling you, it just makes a big difference in the end result. This part gets squishy too fast, and I'm telling you, take it out. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Now, I actually give my trim to a little piggy, you know, my pet pig, but you can do whatever you want. You just cook them separately, eat them, whatever you want to do. But anyway, let's jump right in. So basically, I learned how to make ratatouille from a French chef, okay? He taught me how to do it, and I've learned a couple of different ways. I've also made it a couple different ways, especially when the movie Ratatouille came out. You know, every chef wanted it on their menu, or every guest wanted it, and they wanted it made like the movie. And I can tell you one thing. Right now, at this time, summertime in California is when all of these vegetables are in season and they are delicious. This is the best time to make ratatouille. Although you can make it year round, I will admit I feel a little spoiled knowing that I live in California that has the bounty of the best vegetables arguably in the United States. So anyway, what I'm trying to do is I'm cutting all of these about medium to large dice. Now, they don't have to be perfect, but you know, try to get them as consistent as possible, and I will show you when we get to the cooking technique of how I like to do it, because there's a method to the madness. But yeah, so this is how I prep the vegetables. It's very simple and it's very straightforward, but I highly advise you get everything prepped in advance so that way your mise en place is ready when you're ready to cook. I can't stress this enough. And you notice I don't have everything on the freaking table. I have just what I'm working on the cutting board. I have also very important to have containers for your mise en place, a trash and containers for your mise en place, for your finished product. All right, I think this is important. A lot of home cooks don't follow these rules that we do in the restaurant, but it makes it just so much more clean and organized. So very simple, just cutting through my veg here. Literally get this done before you start cooking. Trust me, it makes life a lot easier. And then the only thing we really have to cook before we start cooking is the concassé tomatoes. Now, if you don't know what concassé is, it's basically you're taking tomatoes, you're piercing the bottom, and then you're scoring the bottom, and then you're gonna blanch them, peel them, seed them, and then just get the petals. So I think what's really important is pick a firm tomato. I'm actually using a 5x6. These are vine ripe tomatoes from the farmer's market, but as you can tell, they're not super sweet. They're not super ripe. And this is important because we're cooking these. So unless you want it to be tomato puree inside your ratatouille, I suggest going with a firmer tomato. But super easy. We're just gonna dice these. You don't have to peel them. I'm just peeling them, but you don't have to. All right, great. So once our tomatoes are done, we're gonna get right into the cooking process. And look, I try to tell everybody, before you start cooking, make sure your mise en place is ready. I have everything ready, everything's good to go. Now listen, you don't have to use deli cups like I am. You can put everything in one pot, it's totally fine. But I'm gonna show you how I like to cook it. So you need a pot with a lid, olive oil, start with your onions, okay? Just sweat these down. We're not looking for color, okay? Now add your peppers, and then you're gonna go ahead and go in with the zucchini and squash. Make sure you have a cute bunny spatula like that one. And then what you're gonna do is you don't really wanna get color on here. So it is actually okay to crowd the pan as much as possible. What we're looking for is to just get a light saute on the onions and peppers, and then we actually want to remove the moisture from the zucchini. And so what you'll notice is I put the eggplant on top. And now trust me, I know it seems weird, but eggplant on top, salt, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this bad boy, okay? Seasoning with a little red chili flake and then a little black pepper here. And again, you can add or subtract whatever you want. These are the vegetables I like to use, and you know, you can subtract or add whatever you want. That's the best part about ratatouille. I think what's really important here is just kind of getting everything moving, and then you'll notice I'm gonna cover it. And what that's gonna do is gonna allow the moisture from the water in the vegetables to kind of steam out, and then that's in turn going to cook the eggplant. If you throw in your eggplant first, it's going to absorb all the water or all the oil, and then what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to saute your vegetables. So just take that in consideration. Okay, so that's been cooking down for a little bit. Then I go in with the diced tomato that have been peeled, seeded, and diced. Okay, and then it gets really easy from there. So I make a little hole in the middle, and this is when I add my garlic. Okay, you can add your garlic in the beginning, but in all honesty, I don't like my garlic cooked to crap, so I do it this way. So you can also do this on the side. It's totally fine. But once you get your garlic becomes tender, then just mix everything around. And now I'm adding a little bit of tomato sauce. Now, just a little bit. Now, classic recipe calls for tomato paste, but listen, trust me when I tell you, you want something nice and light. So if you have to use store-bought, then use store-bought. I actually have some in the freezer that I was using that I made last year, and I actually added a little bit of water so it was more saucy. I don't think a ratatouille should be 100% red, right? So just a little tomato to give it that, that MSG flavor, so to speak. Natural MSG, I should say. Then right before we're about to take it off the heat, you want to cut some basil literally from the plant straight into the pot, okay? Do not cut the basil in advance or else it'll turn brown. So you want to literally do this in the moment. And I'm telling you, it's that simple, okay? This dish comes together so simply and it's so rustic. It's so beautiful. I really, really love this dish and I'll eat it for the next couple days. And it's also low in calorie and low in fat. And you can also, you don't even need to add oil. You can steam everything and it'll still be good. So this is how I'm plating it up. A little bit of tomato sauce on the top. Then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of basil, and I'm telling you, it was so easy. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. What should I cook next? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you haven't yet, hit that like, smash that subscribe. See you next time.